The best part of cruising is sharing it with others. Finding that perfect buddy boat is crucial to many, but especially to us. There's just so much we all have in common, but there's also safety in numbers, sharing knowledge, and of course, dinner and a beer. We've definitely found that in this crew. Join us as we chat with our friends on Baccaruda. I'm Kayla.
And I'm Enno.
And this is our sailing home DiscipleShip. We sold everything we owned to be able to bring attention to and support missions in need and create memories of a lifetime while on this journey. It was Mark Twain who said, 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things that you didn't do than by the things you did do. Join us each week as we learn, laugh, and pray. And you'll never miss out if you subscribe and hit that notification bell.
Okay, we are not getting a monohull.
No.
Jeez.
No.
All right. So, these are our friends. Introduce yourself.
Yeah. I'm Christy.
Mike.
We're on MV Baccaruda.
Better known as on your channel.
We are Zombies
Zombies
Can't
Can't
Swim. Nice.
Yeah. Well, let's. I'm an aficionado of the zombie movies. Are we talking World War Z zombies, or are we talking Walking Dead?
Well,
Let me hold you right there.
She won't let us watch any zombie movies, so we have no idea if they can swim or if they're even real.
Hate
But
zombies. Like I
she
saw
won't
the
watch.
first 30, maybe 15 minutes of Walking
cool.
Dead.
We tried to watch Walking
Dead.
I tried to
Like when the
convince
mom was banging on the door to because her son was on the other side, but she's a zombie. I was like, I'm out. That's it. Like, no more zombies for me.
The
So we
first
actually
season was
hate
probably the
zombies.
best, and that was because it tugged at you right there. So,
Yeah. And then Mark.
That's all right. That's
so
all right.
you guys have like 1 kid, 2 kids, something like that.
A few more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We have
we're on board with 4.
Or
4 kids. 4
Mhm.
kids.
Yeah.
But
which-
there's plenty of room for a boat.
You think?
Well, yeah.
There's space. We
There's
haven't
space.
done a boat tour.
We should do a boat tour.
We should, but
Yeah.
it's never in the condition that we're like, yeah, let's do a boat tour, or it will be, and we're like, we should do a boat tour, and then 5 minutes later, it's
well, when you want the boat cleaned, you say, "Hey, honey, we should do a boat tour." She'll clean the boat, and then you can go. Thanks.
yeah. Does that work for you? Let me know.
I
how
am
that goes.
so glad
see
I
how
am
clean
right
we are
here in
here?
between
Yeah.
you guys.
Well,
Because
let me
yet
bring my
again,
kids over for a little while and let's see what you think.
oh, we still have to do that.
Yeah.
This morning we were sitting here, and Kayla said we should do this, have them over, and I said, okay. And she goes, we have to clean the boat. The boat is clean.
The boat is very clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're on board with 4 kiddos, and we have a 50-foot Ocean Alexander.
Nice.
Beautiful boat. Very nice boat.
An older boat.
1981.
81. It's a Mark 1. Yeah, we really like it. It's
Yeah,
a
we
great
really
boat.
it
and-
fits us.
It
Yeah.
does.
Mhm.
It's,
Yep.
These
She
two are
gave me some-
adventure sailing friends.
Yeah. Sometimes.
or so you think.
Yeah.
We've seen the sails up a couple times.
Yeah, well,
You have?
yeah.
You put them when we were coming.
You had a head sail.
You
on,
you
yeah.
guys were headed
Yeah.
to Highborn.
We still passed you, but
Yeah.
No,
I mean-
and the kids all looked over. We were up top, and they were like, "Are they moving?"
We're trying. We're
first
getting
boat we
there.
passed at 6 knots, and you left 2 hours ahead of us.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So, well, we love your family. Absolutely. Love those kids. Love you guys. And, today we part ways, but just for a couple of days.
Yeah, we hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well, as long as you're willing to.
well,
wait
we've
for
already
us.
parted ways a couple times.
I know.
I know.
But this,
We just can't get rid of you.
You know?
what do they
Hey, you're
always,
still there? We're coming.
what do they all
okay.
say about us? Here come the Camonsons. Oh, God. But the best part of this is because you guys are on Baccaruda. Tell the story about Baccaruda.
Ah, yes, our boat story.
Okay. Me? Want me to talk?
No, I think you're boring. Just kidding, guys.
This is why we love them.
Just,
Go ahead.
Go
Go ahead.
No, go.
Oh my gosh,
So
that's
the
going to be a
boat-
lot of editing
So the-
right
yeah,
here.
lots of editing. So the first owners in '81 named it Barracuda, and the story goes that the sign maker, or they told me the sign painter, so I'm guessing they painted the sign on back then. I don't know if he was dyslexic, but he spelled it wrong, and they showed up, and it was like, oh, it's not Barracuda. It's Baccaruda. So they laughed and thought it was funny, or they didn't want to pay to have him change it. I don't know. But the second owners, who we have come in contact with, did think it was funny, so they kept it. Third owner didn't know the story. That's another story. He didn't know the previous owners, so he changed the name.
Pre-Facebook. That was
It was
pre-Facebook.
it was 15, 16 years ago. And but we got in touch with the second owner's family totally by accident. Another story. But they told us the story, and we said, "Wow, that's." It just seemed to us that the boat named itself.
Oh, yeah.
So we needed to put that boat back to its original name. So we did.
Yeah.
It fits that boat to a T.
Yeah.
It fits you guys to a T.
So
Absolutely.
funny.
Absolutely.
Everywhere we go, people are like, because
Maybe they're dyslexic.
maybe they're like, do they know they spelled that wrong?
Yeah.
But everywhere we go, we always get like, oh, Pacarudo. We've never heard that name before. Because a lot of these names are on rinse, lather, and repeat. Yours is not your boat name.
There's actually a couple other DiscipleShips out there.
Oh, there
Yeah.
are.
There are. Yeah.
Well, we have yet to run into another Pacarudo.
Well,
No,
one of a kind.
Yeah.
one of a kind.
Just take a word and scramble it up, and that would be our advice on boat names.
Hence,
Well-
your kids named our boat.
Shibble dip.
We're now Shipple-Dip. Mr. and Mrs. Shipple-Dip.
Yeah, this morning.
Sometimes it turns into
Dipple
dipple
shit.
shit.
We have to be really careful when we're saying our name in front of the kids. But it gets a lot of laughs.
Yeah.
It gets a lot of laughs, So we decided to get together to talk about the best part of boating, the worst part of boating, the highs, the lows, and Enno, I think, just really covered it in what he said.
In boating life, it has the greatest highs in the world. The things you do out here, you're like, life never gets any better. And then the lows happen, and it is the greatest lows you will ever have in the world.
Why am I doing this?
Yeah. Sell
Why
it
are we
all.
so far from home?
Yes.
Why are we so far from laundry?
Yes, yes.
Or after a rough night sitting there in bed.
See, that doesn't bother me. It's the you're an hour out of the anchorage or out of the marina, and the engine dies, and you're like, oh my god, I don't want to come in and try to dock this thing with one engine. We don't have bow thrusters. We have nothing. We have two engines. That's it.
It's
So-
1981 technology.
So you're like, oh my god, and then you're down in the engine room, and it's 180 degrees down there, and you're sweating bullets, and you're trying to fix the engines, and then and that's like the lowest thing. And they're coming, the kids are coming down. You need help, Dad? And oh, it's too hot in there. No, I'm good, Dad. I'm good. Never mind. Can I bring you some water? And then you get it fixed. You get it fixed, and you're like just in time to come into the anchorage, and that's like the greatest
Yeah.
feeling. It's like
Yes.
I fixed it.
Yes.
I fixed it.
Yeah.
You
And
have to
then-
learn to be reliant on yourself.
And because there's nobody to call. I mean, although there is, I mean, we've run into issues where we didn't have the parts, and we put an ask out to Facebook, or we had a buddy boat with us that had what we needed, and that's been amazing. The boating community has been just totally amazing, and that's some of the highs. The people, I think, is the highs, but it's when the stuff, for me, it's when the things break,
Yeah.
and you're like, okay, what are we gonna do? Are we dead in the water here?
And it's really and you go through. You and I were talking the other night, and it was like you go through like when you say highest of highs, your adrenaline on that high, like when you're snorkeling and you're you're cruising along, like you're just in this zen happy place, and that's where you're always kind of like trying to get back to. But let me tell you, you run aground, you touch bottom, your
wind.
Oh, your nerves
the,
are just...
Yes.
the weather,
Yeah.
that water smell the other day, trying to come in here. I mean, then all of a sudden that stress, right, releases all over your body. And that's what I mean. Like, you feel the highs and the lows, so much. And living on land, I mean, when did you ever have those emotions in 24 hours?
No.
No, never.
No. No.
Right?
Definitely
Life-threatening,
not.
like, oh my God, what is happening, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, okay.
I know. I always say, like, if you were to, like, whenever I get ready, start the engines on the boat, right? My nerves are always up because we're getting ready to go somewhere, especially if we're on a dock or we're going to a dock or something. if I felt like that every time I started the engine of a car, I would never go anywhere.
You'd be on a skateboard.
Because it's like, but I know, but we're going. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be awesome wherever we're going, right? I don't have that feeling when I start the car. It's like I'm going to work. So if I was scared every time I started the car, I'd be like, I'm not going to work.
Sorry, guys. Just not going to go to work today.
But it is. It's the highest highs, the lowest lows, and there's no in between. I mean, there's, there are days that are just, okay, that was easy, relaxing, but it's even those days are good days versus there's no, okay.
Yeah, I would say that, I think for us it's a little different with the kids because I think the
There's
thing
never relaxing when they're in bed.
I just think like to be needed that much as a mom all day, every day, that's probably the thing that wears on me the most,
Right.
And it's not like, it's like, oh, kids, jump out and,
Right.
Go play for
Go
the
play
afternoon.
outside.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're always on some kind of high alert there as well. So,
And that's when it's good to be with a buddy boat with a lot of kids, like with Wandering Naps on Illuminate. They have all the kids that you guys can just go to that boat, go to this boat,
Yes.
or let's take you all to shore.
Right.
The adults can be right here. You guys just go have fun.
And or
Yes.
separate the
So-
kids. Some of the kids, the boys will go over to the Illuminate, and the girls can hang over here and do girl thing, type stuff.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, that would be another high, would be buddy
Mhm.
boats.
Yes.
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 I mean,
definitely.
I was listening to Jolene of Wandering Naps, and we've talked many times about how lonely it was out here in the Bahamas for them for 8 months, I think
Right.
they did.
But it
and
was
then
during COVID, and so there was nobody.
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, nobody at all.
Nobody
Yeah.
here.
and then they got
Yeah,
down
so-
to Georgetown, I think, and other buddy boats, and they had this whole plan they were going to do this whole other thing, and nope, like they just pivot. They were like, no, we found buddy boats because that is so important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with the kids.
Yep.
Well, and you guys, right? You like
The
buddy
grandparents.
boats?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The grandparents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grand.
Yes.
I don't
No,
think you're
that-
quite old enough to be
that's-
grandparents of these kids.
Not of your kids. No.
Actually, we are old enough to be grandparents of your kids. We have a 33-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's possible if you had a kid at 12.
Love you, dear.
Yeah.
Edit. No.
So it doesn't have to. I mean, it doesn't have to be a buddy boat with kids, although better. But other folk like you guys. I mean, you take the kids, you go to the pool, you go and you entertain them, you play cards with them and stuff, and that gives us, some relaxing time, and we really appreciate that.
Yeah.
We
You
enjoy
know,
the
and
kids.
well, we appreciate that. I mean, they love you. It's like we're going to dinner.
Well,
is
is Shipple
Dip
Dip
coming? And if we say no, then they're like, we're not going. It's like, fine. But, and then Frank and Leslie were the same way on MV
Karawa.
Kirawa. And they love spending time with the kids, and they love spending time, like Frank was doing knot lessons, and then taking them snorkeling.
I
and,
want to take knot lessons.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
he's
yeah,
really
yeah,
good at
yeah,
that.
I got it on video. You can watch the video. On
Okay.
Lulu
But-
can't tie her shoes, but she can,
She can
tie.
tie
Oh,
bowling.
yeah?
She can tie a bowling.
You go,
I had to
girl.
I had to have Tofi come out and tie the reef knot 3 times in the last week. I'm like, Toph, I need, our lines aren't long enough for the fenders that we had to put out for the storm. And I was like I'm like, I don't remember how to do this. Tofi, can you come tie this
Oh,
reef
that's
knot?
amazing.
He had it tied
That's
in 2
amazing.
seconds. So Frank,
Yeah.
thank you. We appreciate that.
Because we're not doing it on a daily basis. If we're anchoring, we don't have to worry about
I
those
know.
knots.
I know.
Now, if we were in a marina like we are, these have been the best 3 days in boating, I think.
We've
That-
had the AC on.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's great. And it is nice coming into, when you're out at anchor for 6 weeks,
Yeah, we
just
were-
coming into a marina for a couple of days, it's like, I can just kind of relax. I can turn off the anchor alarm. And I don't have to worry about,
Right.
and the AC is a huge bonus.
I
But
can wash in the bucket. and
I
that's
think
right.
what's so interesting is when we talk about buddy boats, I had heard people sort of mention buddy boats, but when we bought the boat, I certainly didn't understand that it's a thing.
It is, yeah.
And we've met our first buddy boats in the yard, which was really good. SV Low Expectations.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really concerned this trip, like, oh my gosh, we knew we wanted to come to the Bahamas, you know, well, how do you do any of that, you know, without somebody else, really? And we just got lucky with the Wandering Naps, and that's how we hooked up with you guys.
Yep.
Everybody just kind of like knows everybody, you know,
Right.
and everybody's kind of traveling with buddy boats around here.
You know the thing about 6 degrees of separation in the boating community? There's 2.
It's, I was gonna
Oh,
say,
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
We were on.
Yeah,
I was on another friend's page that's getting ready to go to Guatemala, and Dante.
Adonai?
No, the other one, Dante. The ones.
Oh, Lynn and Todd.
Lynn and Todd, and saw that the Low Expectations was commenting on it, and I went, "Oh, they know them too."
Of
So
course.
you know,
Of course.
everybody knows everybody.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
It's really cool. It's just really cool, and it's really cool to, you know, make these passages and share in the decision making of going from
Right.
Anchorage to Anchorage. Like, does this work for us? Like, you know, does that work for you? You know, I mean that.
especially as newbies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
total newbies.
Yeah.
Well, and we have because we keep making friends with trawlers.
It's a sign.
You know, and that's exactly right.
The
I think
evil
it is
trawler.
Well, it's, you know, we have to leave 2 days ahead of y'all just to, and then we still get past.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's kind of, you know, we don't know that we want a trawler. Well, I would love a trawler, but this guy wants a catamaran. But it's a different, it's a whole different community, trawlers versus sailing or whatever. But that doesn't really matter with buddy boats. I mean, but I really and truly haven't seen any other buddy boats that have a sailboat with a trawler in it. So we're kind of,
Yeah.
We're unicorns.
we are,
Yeah. Yeah.
we're the unicorn group.
Yeah.
With the other trawlers that we've met, they're usually retired. They're you know, which I mean we don't care. Oh, we've actually retired. We've buddy boated with a lot of retired people.
Because there's not a lot of options.
Yeah,
I mean, unless
yeah.
there's some families like us that live and just cruise full time with kids, but you know, typically they're hard to find. You
We
know?
can't all be Satara.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Um,
Let's back up to where we started with you guys.
so we met you all when,
Y'all passed us going into Spanish Wells.
yeah, we were going into Spanish Wells.
Kind of cut you off. I was like, that sailboat's going really slow. I'm going in front of them.
And I'm sitting here thinking, there's no way I can keep up with Chris, so you go ahead. I don't even know who you are, but you've been following Chris, so.
That crazy dyslexic couple on Baccaruda.
What's that boat name? Yeah, I mean that was so serendipitous. It felt like.
Yeah.
I mean, to have that timing work out. So you guys were coming from Abacos? Where were you coming from?
Yeah, that
Yeah,
goes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and then we hear
We were coming from the berries.
somebody. Were you guys, you and Illuminate,
heard-
were talking to each other?
Well, we heard
or?
you call and Illuminate like 100 times, and finally I called them and was like, "Hey, you got Shipple Dip calling you," and they're like, "Oh, well, we can't." So somehow you all couldn't hear.
Here.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Then you all got in touch. But,
Yeah.
And you guys met the Naps. So our original buddy boat this season coming over was the Naps.
Mhm.
And you guys met them when?
3
Like
years ago.
originally,
Yeah.
we met, Jolene and I met through Instagram, through
Instagram.
Zatara, and then we joined Sister Wives group, and then both became admins, and then
It's
just
not that.
it's not that kind of
sailing Sister Wives. Anyway, yeah, sorry.
It's not that kind of.
It's not that kind of a, well.
Y'all were in the
anyway.
same anchorage together, right? And
No.
weren't you in the same anchorage?
We didn't have a boat
Well,
when we
that
met
was
them,
in
when they got
Isla
their boat.
Mirada.
Yeah.
Okay, so way back, Jolene and I met through Instagram with another friend of ours, Jamie Wilcher, and we all just started chit-chatting. That was in 2019.
Wow. So you
Yeah.
guys were like super in the planning phase right then.
Oh yeah, we had,
And
so
then
at that point, then when we finally did get a boat, then we sailed and they said, hey, come down to Isla Mirada. So we stayed in the anchorage in Isla Mirada for 2 months, a month and a half.
40 days.
Oh, that's right. It was 40 days. So
Yep.
yeah. And we got our water maker in and went. See ya. Sorry, can't wait.
So then you guys decided to cross by yourselves.
Mhm.
You went up to,
Angelfish Creek.
you went to Angelfish,
Mhm.
Bimini,
Right.
Yep.
and then you went to Abacos from there?
Biminita to
Sure.
Berries,
Berry, yeah.
and then Berries to Abacos.
We were, our path through the Bahamas has been, you know, we didn't do like, well, let's do all the Exumas and then come back around and make a nice pretty loop. No, we went to Abacos, to Eleuthera, to Exuma, back up to here, and now we're going back to, every
That's
which
not bad.
direction.
You came across.
Yeah,
and
you
just
kinda
went
made a
down
loop.
like that.
Yeah.
But wouldn't you say it's been buddy boat dependent? You're like, oh, well, let's go cruise with these other people.
As soon as we met up with buddy boats, we're like, okay, we like this so much better.
Yeah.
Let's just stick it out with
Yeah.
what we want to do.
Yeah.
And that's why, when we were down in the Exumas, and we really and truly could not have gone out. Other sailors that have
Done it.
done this for a while, low expectations,
Yeah.
any of those other boats, they probably would have went out because of weather.
Going out that cut,
The
it was,
cut.
it was
Yeah.
rough, so.
Down to
So-
Georgetown, that's
Yeah.
what the cut you're
We
talking
said, we gotta go find Baccaruda.
about.
we gotta go.
We literally just flipped a 180 and took off the other
Pivot.
direction.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was
Yep.
scrolling through Instagram. I don't know. Do you guys know MV Olo?
No.
Olo?
Uh-uh.
They're some guys that had serendipitously had our slip at White Marlin the year before,
Uh-huh.
and so they had reached out to us, and we made the connection. And anyway, they were down in Marathon, but he was posting the other day, and he said you have to learn the art of the pivot, right? Isn't that like that?
The art of the pivot.
Things
The art
don't
of
work
the
out
pivot.
what you think they're going to be, so you got to figure out
Yep.
what you got to pivot
Yeah.
to. Okay,
Yeah.
well, we're going
A,
to
B,
do
and
this.
C.
Like
Yeah.
you can't just get so focused on one thing and then
Right.
get
Yeah, I get
frustrated
it.
when that doesn't work out. You got to
Yeah.
just figure out. Okay, well this isn't going to work. So now what are we going to do?
Yeah. So, well, and just to come full circle, but so into Spanish Wells, we've been with you guys basically since Eleuthera
Mm-hmm.
and all the way down through the Exumas. I mean, different timing. We haven't always been together. We've cut up, you've cut up, you left,
Right.
it's just
Yeah.
kind of been kind of cat and mouse. But yeah, I mean, it's been, I'm sad to see the season end over here. I mean, I don't think, now that I know, I'm so grateful that we've been able to explore so much, because next season it'll be like, okay, we're going to make a beeline.
Yeah.
Right.
Going
Go
straight
straight
in
to
there.
the Exumas. Yes.
Yeah, and everybody
Yes.
says that.
Yeah.
But you have to figure that out, right?
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we did this other night in y'all's boat. Favorite place?
Favorite place? I have loved the snorkeling. For me, I don't know why, but this trip has really changed my opinion on it. Down in the Keys, I don't know, I was having panic attacks of, all these kids in the water, and there's all this danger, and there's sharks and all this stuff, but something unlocked in my head this trip, and I have really enjoyed the snorkeling. Oyster Cay off of Highborn, I think, was the best snorkeling for me.
Mm-hmm.
The weather was, it was flat calm.
Yeah.
The sun was out, which we really
We
struggled
haven't
for a
had
couple
lot
of
sun.
weeks.
Yeah. we
Yeah.
haven't
With the
had a lot of
weather.
sun.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And that makes all the difference when you're snorkeling.
Yes, it does.
So it was a crystal clear day, it was flat calm, and the colors were just...
And we found a place without a lot of current, which was nice for the kids, and we
yeah,
weren't fighting
that's
current.
tricky. Yeah,
Yeah.
down here.
Mhm.
So I would say right now that's the moment in my brain that's like...
For you.
"Oh."
So at Highborn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we found some good snorkel
What about you,
spots
Mike?
at Highborn. I mean, I'm torn between like the pristine beaches and the beautiful water,
Yeah.
and then the snorkeling. I like the snorkeling, obviously, but we've had a couple of really nice beaches. There was one sort of near Hoffman's in the Berries that. We did run aground. It was pretty tight coming in. We ran aground, but it was soft sand.
My
so I was
knees
like,
gave
oh.
out.
I was like, all right, we're on the ground. Push through. Let's go. And we did. And
Top
it was
gun.
just, thank God it was soft. And then Toph got down and
Afterwards.
checked the keel, and everything was fine. It was a little scrape, but no big deal.
Yeah.
But But this was just a beautiful beach, and it was, and it was gradual, very, very shallow, and there was starfish everywhere. Where we anchored, there was just starfish. And you had to be careful when you dropped the anchor so you didn't drop it on a starfish. They were just everywhere, and it was just, when we were there, it was flat, calm, just beautiful. No other boats around. And like this, it's like you had this private island that we dinghied over to the island and had a bonfire at night, and that to me was just, I love that. And there was like, a little sandbar at low tide that came out sort of way off the beach, and we were just sitting on that. And that to me is because the kids can run around and explore the island, and they can play in the water, and they can do whatever they want to do, and so that I really like that. But I mean, I don't get me wrong, I love the snorkeling. It's beautiful, but
I know,
I think it's kind of hard with the beaches. And then we found a place in the Exumas that was Hawksbill Cay. It wasn't as secluded. There was a few boats there in the mooring field, but we really liked that beach. There was, the kids were snorkeling. There was some rocks and some fish nearby,
and around the backside. That's the other planet.
And then we dinghied around to the south side of Hawksbill, and I've never seen anything so beautiful. It was, you go in this little area, and it was just 20 different shades of blue, different,
from where you were
and
standing
it
out.
was amazing.
Oh my
Just kept
gosh.
changing.
It was just
gorgeous.
It was just amazing.
Yeah.
That was gorgeous.
What about you? You've been to a lot more places than us.
The snorkeling is my favorite thing to do. The best reef we've seen so far has been Pelican.
Where's that?
Abacos?
Yeah, Abacos. But the water was 10 times clearer in the Exumas.
Yeah.
So probably Oyster Bay was one of the coolest things to go over and see and do over there.
Really?
Yeah.
And you've snorkeled a lot.
Yeah, I try to get in the water everywhere we go. So.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things I learned coming out here was, just find a dark spot. Stick your head in the water, see what it looks like.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the one we found over. Was it?
Yeah, Hawksbill.
Yeah. So I walked over, put my head in the water, and went, "Hey, there's a little bit of a reef right here.
There's fish.
Yeah. Call everybody over. Let's all go snorkeling."
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah. And it would have been even better if it wasn't like raining and overcast.
Yeah,
I
but
kept telling the kids, "Get in the water. You won't get wet."
Yeah.
They were like, "It's raining." We're like, "We're going swimming."
I don't want to get my hair wet.
What about you, Miss Kayla?
I definitely, for me, it had to have been in Spanish Wells, that beach, that pink sand beach over there. That was just
Harbor Island.
Yeah.
Harbor Island.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
It feels like everything is like harbor, great,
I know.
like
Something.
Yeah.
cat.
Yes.
Like you're just like, okay, which one was that?
Yeah.
That one.
That pink sand beach when we.
That pink sand beach, and it was just so relaxing. But I also loved Meek's Patch. And just being able to sit on the beach with us girls. The guys did their own thing. And the pigs were, and just the chickens and the ducks. And, I mean, it was a whole
that was
animal farm.
Yeah, ducks.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the
yeah.
boys chased them all the way. They were trying to catch them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
But snorkeling-wise, I think, there's just so many different places that had different things. And I think for me, snorkeling has to be over here at Rose Island.
Oh.
Yeah.
They've just got that huge angelfish, and the parrotfish are just beautiful, unless my husband spears one, but whatever.
It tastes good. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So we are leaving you today and won't get to see you for 2 days.
You want us to take some of the kids with us?
Yep.
Yeah, sure. Go
Oh my
ahead.
gosh! That was way too quick. That was way
was
too quick. So, but we will see you guys on.
We're gonna plan to
Wednesday.
come over on Wednesday.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Do
we'll
some
probably leave here in
snorkeling?
the morning. You know.
definitely. My
Yeah.
dad will be here. That'll
Yeah.
be fun.
We gotta
Yeah.
wait for our old man to get here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll
Sounds
meet
good.
you
But
over
it's
there.
been a
Let us
great
know how
ride.
rolly it is over there, and
And we'll decide. No.
no,
Yeah,
decide
right.
if we wanna
It
go.
is, but it's an easy roll. It's not a rough roll. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Well, good.
good anchorage though.
Well, this has been amazing. You guys are amazing.
Yeah.
We've
Yeah,
enjoyed
this
you
was-
guys
Yeah.
for the most part.
We really
Yeah.
well. Except when, listen, when I get a little agitated, with the kids, you guys have been very graceful. So, thank you.
Because we've been there, we've done that, we get
We've
it.
never yelled at our kids.
Our kids are like, thumbs down on that video. All right, so we will see you guys on Wednesday.
All right,
Awesome.
cool.
See you then. All right. Thanks for coming over.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us. If it's your thing, find yourself that buddy boat. It may last a season or a lifetime. In our case, we have created an extended family that we literally have trusted with our lives.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Stay tuned next week when we have some kind of video. I'm not even sure what it is. Kayla will surprise us all.